Alrighty, oops, I forgot to do something important. Give me 1 second to get the playlist going. I forgot to start that up, I apologize. Uh, where is it? Shouldn't be far. There it is. I like this one better. Excellent. Alrighty, so welcome to a different kind of Star Trek Online stream here. This one, there won't be that much gameplay, maybe towards the end. But admittedly, this one is a lot less about playing and about building. So, if you were with me the night before on Christmas Eve night going into Christmas, you are probably aware that I was trying not to spend money on the legendary the 10th anniversary 10 ship bundle. And yeah, about that. So here we are. I got the bundle. My main character, the one that you haven't seen me play with as much since I started these two new characters, which I actually should bring him out of retirement at some point for stream. But he's flying the Odyssey, the legendary Odyssey, or what's it called here? Also, you'll notice I keep scratching my back. If you can't tell, also I just got a haircut today, so you know how that can be sometimes. Ugh. I actually need to change my shirt. But anyway, so he's using this one, the Legendary Command Dreadnought Cruiser. It looks the same as it was before with this saucer, these nacelles, and then the other body. But with this character here, we started using the Sovereign class just recently. As actually my plan with him, so we're probably going to use the Sovereign again here. I forget how I got this. Yeah, I forgot how I got this. Anyway, ooh, pardon me. So we're gonna get instead the Lyrical Worker Assault Cruiser, the Sovereign class. It has a slightly different skin. It's not as obvious right now. It might just be some of the coloring on it, to be honest. But we're gonna default it over to our usual one, along with the call it medical vanity shield that I've been using for most of the last couple years now. Or holy shit, it's almost been 2 years. Anyway, one of the other characters is probably the Discovery character is probably going to either get this one, which, as you can tell, this is based on the Phase 2 variant of the Enterprise. For anyone who may not know, Star Trek Phase 2 was a TV show concept that was started, and they were just about to film it before they decided to scrap the series, and they instead came out with the motion picture. Interesting video about it. If you would like to learn some more, I can recommend at a YouTube channel that has a nice series on it. It goes over both the movie and everything else. He has a whole, God, what is he at? Part 16, something like that right now. He's done a lot of it. But anyway, if you're interested, I can definitely show you that channel. But again, main thing, this is the Phase 2 variant that I might use on the Discovery character, or what I'll probably use instead on the Discovery character is the Disco Prize, as I refer to it, and I've heard other people refer to it as. This is the revamp that we got in Star Trek Discovery. STO's version here looks a little bit closer to the original. After I look at it, I haven't actually seen it yet. This version looks a little bit closer to the classic Enterprise. Not perfect, but it wasn't supposed, when they made it, it wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to be its own thing. As you might remember, we were using this one earlier in this playthrough for this character until I switched over to the Sovereign just relatively recently. And the other one that I was using beforehand actually isn't a legendary variant, so we can't use that one as a legendary specifically. This is what I'm using right now, is the Intel Assault Cruiser. And then anyone who likes Discovery, there is a Discovery variant available. I personally do not like it, but that's a personal opinion. And I'm forgetting which ship this is supposed to be. That's right, NX-01 Enterprise. I keep forgetting. This is supposed to be NX-01 Enterprise, which is actually kind of cool. They're basing it slightly on the Oberth class as well as the NX refit we never got, which was actually really sad. Which that should mean this should have the NX refit on it too, which would be really cool. I actually might fly that here and there at some point if I can figure out, or if I actually get over my thing of not flipping ships out too much. But anyway, let's see. I just decide which of these, which ship do I want to actually use? Because this isn't my engineer, right? My engineer. So, Miracle Workers are. I don't want to use the science vessel, although I didn't really. They brought the warship Voyager, and that's cool. Ooh, pardon me. Let's see. This is the Galaxy class Enterprise as well, which could be cool, but it's just not what I want to do for this character. Don't get me wrong, I like the Galaxy class, but it is not my favorite. There's a reason why. The reason why the Sovereign class sits on my desk, for those who have not seen it before, or if you have seen it and you wanted to see it again. I mean, like it says, just wipe some dust off of it. It sits on my desk here. It is a bit of a dust collector, especially because my window is right there. So, but yeah, like I said, that's the reason why I got the Sovereign class on my desk. So we're gonna go with the Sovereign class here in a moment. Now we're gonna figure out which ship to get rid of, which shouldn't be that hard. Emphasis on the word should. I'm in. Yes, I can't get the Jalon sphere. I had to think for a second if I could actually access my other ships from the Jalon sphere there, and I can. Oh, it was closer than I realized it was. Even better. Well, I know they weren't happening too much, but I also ended up joining a fleet, or more accurately, I rejoined the fleet my other character is on. So that's nice. I won't be getting those random fleet invites that kept popping up here and there. And I can contribute with this character a bit too. There's not a whole lot I can do, but there's some stuff. All right. Alright, let's talk to selector, right? You can customize. Alright, what am I ditching? I might just ditch the Pierre. Could ditch the assault cruiser. I don't have a use for this really. Now we're gonna ditch the Monroe because it's the lowest ranking vessel I have. Alrighty. Yep. It's been ditched. Let me just discard all this equipment here that I don't need. Ooh, pardon me again. Tell the it's what time is it now? About 9:30, and I had to work earlier than usual today because the person who normally opens is out on PTO. Her family was in town, so she might spend some time with them, so I understand. And I got stuck with her with almost her shift. I ended up getting, it's only a half hour, but it's amazing what a half hour can do. Especially with how bad of a day yesterday was. I didn't post anything about it, but I didn't have a great day yesterday, so that on top of everything, so I'm tired today. I had a good day today overall, but that that carryover from the previous day. Alrighty. So let me do something real quick here if it lets me. Let me do this before I forget. I want to make sure that loadout is saved. I can bring the loadout back when if I ever want the ship back, because I want to try flipping out into the ship again, because the ship still gives me one trait that the new ships don't. At least I don't think they do. On that, second one, just clear out some space in the inventory as well. I need you. I need to go through my inventory and actually see what of each of these things I want and don't want. Like this I can get rid of because I'm not a tactical officer. Don't have a science ship, so I can't use the secondary deflectors. And the hell with all these hypos, because I never use them in combat, even though I arguably should. But there we go. Alright, that cleared out that, and then those phasers I'm gonna hold on to. I forget what they're. So those are my regular phasers before my slightly more specialized ones. Anyway, so with all that done here, save default. Excellent. Hopefully that won't be too obnoxious. The ionic will stop here soon, but I do not want to have an drink or anything because I do need to go to bed because I have to wake up again a bit early because she's out both today and tomorrow. Alright, now we got that done. Let's bring back over to command and bring out the new ship. If I actually have to run all the way over here. Yeah, I do, because I have to ready it. Before we can ready it, of course, we have to actually get it. Alright. You go. There you are. Claim. Hello there, Zen of Games. How are you doing this? Well, whatever time it is for you. I'm going to assume evening as well. Evening? Nice. Nice, nice. I'm not sure if you heard or not, this is going to be less of a gameplay stream and more of a shipbuilding stream because I just got some new ships. Okay, making sure. Alright, it is ready to go. That's one to check. Are my settings set? Yes. Alrighty. What the hell is it called? Oh. Lexington. There it is. And they're gonna have to upgrade this one. You turn a noob. Don't worry, so am I. I can give you, I could give you certain pointers, but in terms of actual, it doesn't. Normal is easy, really. And yeah, no, a lot of things are, as long as you're not doing things too crazy, you're fine. I'm not that great of a builder. I'm not, but at least I try a little bit. And that's part of why this will take a stream to do, is because I have to see what I'm actually going to do and what I'm not going to do. In the meantime, it's going to get rid of all of this standard crap. I'm not going to be using it. onto that, because there's a small chance I'll use that somewhere, but it's unlikely, to be honest. Alrighty, with all that held through, let us ready Starship. Awesome, I brought most of my stuff over. Now, why did you bring the fourth one over? Is it because there wasn't a fourth one? Because there wasn't a fourth one. Excellent. So I have another slot there, which is great. Do I have another thing to fill it? Sounds very dirty out of context. No. Damn. I don't want those. Do I have to craft one? And I can, I just don't want to. I've got to craft it. So be it. That's not too hard. And there's always the trick. This would be under beams, beam consoles, laser relay, and a Mark II. I plan to build one of these things first. Excellent. Complete that. This again. Phaser relay, Mark II, and start. And I'm impatient. Excellent. Now the fun begins. Upgrade. Got 140 Phoenix ones to work with, but one will get this all the way up to like 10. We got up to 12 with this one. And we got a little bit of a rarity upgrade, not much, but it was a little bit. There's a rarity upgrade again. Alright, we are at... You know what? I'm going to throw a few more at this. I'm going to try getting its rarity up. There we go. That's good enough for right now. Excellent. Excellent. Alright, well, this is one of those I plan to upgrade, even though it feels weird hitting this upgrade button. This was a part of the plan. Holy shit, it has another universal console slot. Ooh. Oh, I didn't have... There we go. I have this. Oh, no, I did have that. I thought I had the broadside emitter. Oh. This wasn't my plan, but I can actually bring that over. That'd be interesting to have. Good thing I didn't delete the PR. I would have lost this one. I forgot this was all universal to any ship. All right. I know it doesn't seem like much, but that's the build you've got so far. The harder part actually is going to be in a moment. And now we're going to deal with the stations and the trays down here, and that's where it gets more annoying and actually takes some effort in building, for me at least. Okay, and that's part of the problem to begin with. You're gonna definitely go up there. Ooh, what's this? Ooh. Well, that'll be really easy. Because I have these things I'll have these things auto casting. Holy shit, I had weapons not auto firing? That's been fixed. Power, there we go. And to the soul system. Okay. And then we're gonna go into Starbase here. Ooh, I'm nice and maneuverable. Perfect. At least as maneuverable as I'm used to, which is still good. Oh, I'm supposed to do that. Oh. There we go. Alrighty. I'm gonna wait here as I figure out the stations I have. Alright, so this is a science pilot. Oh, no, it's not a science pilot. This is an engineering pilot and then an engineering miracle worker. Oh. More or less, I've got those two set. Excellent. As weird as it's gonna sound, having this extra tactical slot is the weirdest thing for me. And neither of these tactical officers can use one of the special abilities, so I can't just give them the specialization for it, which is the harder part. And I don't have a science officer yet, so this is my science officer. There we go. Okay. That looks about right for what I want. Now comes the fun part of figuring out what I'm going to give Sukith as his abilities. Superficial, I try to selectively choose the hot. I mean, yeah. So I have an answer and then a follow-up question. Number one, is it superficial? Yes, but I mean, the way that you look at officers in this is by what they can do, which is also kind of superficial. But question number two, the more important thing. Does it matter? I don't think so. I might do it too. Alright, give me 2 moments here because I wanted to do something. First off, I need to mark my calendar so I know what day it is, as silly as that sounds. And then I wanted to grab some eggnog. Let me go fill up my cup real quick, which I hope everyone enjoys. Back in just a moment. But what's nice is I have a wireless headset, so I'm going to keep the headset on for a bit, even though I can't actually I take my phone with me. And I can see what you're saying too. And volume down, Twitch. Cool. I can see the chat now. So back in a moment here. Just need to rinse this cup out and put some more eggnog in it. But I can still hear ya. Or, well, see what you put in. But I want to say, yeah, as far as if it's superficial, again, you could say that it is, but I would still again say, why does it matter? Just finished hot cocoa, but eggnog sounds good. Special. No, this is some generic eggnog. Because I actually never really. I'm not a big fan of the one with booze in it. I'm a fan of booze in general. But that's me, not everybody. rinse this cup out here, because I had some in it earlier, but unfortunately, some of Apollo's dog hair got into it, so can't have that. So one bad thing about having a dog is that all his hair goes everywhere, especially because I think he's finally shedding. But it's hard to tell because he's always shedding. There we go, there's that. How they drink nowadays, but I do like a little rum and eggnog. Hey, fair enough, you do you. If I see Apollo came to join me here in the kitchen. There we go. Alrighty. And with eggnog in hand, I return back to my room. Alrighty. And we are back. I apologize, something I meant to do before stream. I wasn't going to do it, and I figured, why not? Oh, Apollo snuck in behind me. There you are. Welcome back, it's like I never left, right? Okay. But yeah, so now the fun part is figuring out how I want to do these abilities. Now, if I had some secret abilities, or such as this here, but like lockbox ability, something like that, that'd be perfect to put in here, but I don't have any of those on with this character that I can think of. I'll check all this stuff here. That should be good. Those should both be good. Yeah, these are the main ones that I care. These are the main ones I care for. Are tactical team because it repels and it repels boarding parties. Beams fire at will because I like shooting everything. Because the biggest thing for me that it lets all weapons fire anything that's available to them, which is helpful, especially when you're in like a big thick of ships. That you can just fire basically everything and do damage to damage the thing as you go along. And then torpedo spread because who doesn't have torpedo spread? So yeah, those are the main three that I really need. I don't really need anything besides them as far as tactical abilities go. That being said, I might look into getting an attack pattern that could be useful. So that's why we're here. This is an engineer, yep. That's I'm not sure if you can see very well. But yeah, there's a little yellow icon for him. And also right there. Now, always be careful when you have pets. If somebody didn't know better, you could think that some of these bruises, well, you can't really see them on there, which is probably a good thing. But some of the bruises on my arm would look very questionable without Apollo to explain them. Now let's see. I don't want torpedo high yield. Do I not have? I thought I had attack patterns, but I guess not. That's fine. Having the target weapon or weapons is actually useful. Attack pattern beta or delta. What are the differences? And then mines, I don't use mines. Beta gives me a damage resistance Wait, does that? Oh, to target. My engineer is level 17 only, and I'm just muddling through. I can figure I can. Such. So there's a recommended one. Of course, exactly. You can respec if something goes wrong. But in general, there's this kind of the recommended style for it, which give me just a moment. It's gonna take a few moments for me to get up, but I actually want to do this now. One second while I think of how I want to do this. The fun part is that I'm a little bit of a web designer. I can't, make a whole website from scratch per se, but I can definitely design some stuff using templates and everything else. I can build off other people's work, let's put it that way. So what I'm looking at doing here, let me create. So now what I want to do, the reason why I'm mentioning all this is because one thing I can do is I can upload a copy of the suggestion that I was given. You can find these other places as well. It is. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. That's great. There we go. And then let me just put in the heading here. That's a paragraph. Heading. Wait, give me one moment. And actually, something else we could do too, at a later time, or maybe even later in the stream, depending on how the build goes. Because this build actually might be easier than I thought it was going to be, which is great. But I also want to do the build on my Discovery character. That is a tactical that I treat a lot like an engineer as well. But once we're done with those, we can potentially do some missions together. I'm fine playing missions with other people. Especially in this case, we can kind of, either you can tell me, we can either power level you where I take the brunt of or take the lead and try to just flatten everything as quickly as we can so we can level you up, or I can back down a bit, be more support. That way you can still enjoy everything and you can still do that and just have me there as support. But anyway, we can look into that later on. I'm always open to that. The one thing that I'm a lot more hesitant on is anyone joining voice chat, so fair warning on that. I'm a level 52 science guy, but I don't really know what I'm doing. That is fair. My very first character is a science character that I stopped playing years ago because I don't know what to do with a science character either, so I completely understand. That being said, I don't think she's here, but if one of my older regular viewers comes back, her name was Darth Andrea. She was good. She normally flies science, so she can definitely be helpful for that. Do a feature real quick. Sorry for the delay here, but I'm almost ready to give you more details on what I was going for. There we go. Center. Excellent. Let me add one more thing in here, and then we are ready to go. So I forgot to check, what is that new page? That makes sense. I'm trying to figure out what to do with R&D duty officers. I usually just randomly choose missions for duty officers and get a lot of XP. Both methods work. Both methods work. Ideally, you want to be a bit more selective, and there are some traits you want to make sure you match the traits and everything. But I'm guilty. I'm random too, and that's just because exactly it still works. It still gets you the XP. Okay. So that's what I spent time the few months staring at this off the screen doing. Feel free to jump over there, and you can see the skill tree recommendation that I've seen before. There are other ways to do it, of course. Always find out what works for you. When you see the reason behind how these ones work, it lets you adjust it, which is actually why I've adjusted a couple of things from this suggestion to suit my own playstyle. But if you're not quite sure what you're doing, this is usually a good place to start. We can always adjust you from there. If you are on Reddit, there is the STO builds subreddit. That's always a good option. They also have the Discord server that you can join into as well. So both are going to be good options if you're looking to be able to build a bit. From what I've learned, the community will do one of two things depending on what you're asking them to do. If you're asking them for help, they can be pretty helpful and they will give you some advice. I do admit some of it might be a bit overwhelming, so you might want to try and find one person to work with. But they're still in general pretty helpful. Now, if you say, hey, I made a build, what do you think? They're a lot more likely to just tear you apart at that point. But that's because, like I said, it depends on what you're asking for. If you're asking for evaluation, they'll tear you apart. If you're asking for help, they're usually pretty helpful. Like I said, you might have a little bit of getting overwhelmed, but as you learn and as you see what everyone's trying to suggest, sometimes you'll have people who say, I suggest this because these reasons, and that helps too. So, which actually, let me add that to the page. I didn't think about that until just now. I apologize. Reddit. Am I in that Reddit? I don't know if I am or not. One second. Alrighty. Oops. I'll work on this page a bit later. There we go. I added in the Reddit over to STO builds, and I think glancing. Alright, glance. So I don't see. Okay, there it is. And the Discord for the group is on the sidebar as well. So you can, if you prefer Discord, that's an option as well. And I'm not referring to my Discord, that's separate. You're welcome to join, of course. We'd love to have you. There's a few of us that are in the collective, and unfortunately, no, it's not because of the Borg. I wish it was, but I'm the only Trekkie out of our main group of 3. Now, if Ketsu comes back and becomes our main group of 4, then I'm the second Trekkie, which is great. I got my eggnog. I haven't taken a drink of it yet. All right. And then, yeah, again, so yeah, this is the recommended one. I forget, where did I change it slightly? Nope. I see somebody just came to the server. I'm gonna guess that's you. Welcome on in. And actually, what you should hopefully see, let me glance something real quick here. Oh, Void isn't live anymore. One of the nice things is that going live channel is something you can follow whenever we go live. It posts into the Discord there. So if you've turned me off on Twitch, it's painful, but I understand. I don't have that many of my Twitch notifications on anymore. I go by Discord notifications for most people, so I understand. And then as well, you'll get the other groups of the collective, mostly myself, Void Mage, and Soulless Fire. Void Mage is the most consistent of us in streaming, and then you've got a mix between probably me and then Soul. But again, out of all of us, I'm the one that plays STO, and most of the games on my list, I'm pretty much the only one that plays them. But we'll still hang on each other's chats and everything else, so feel free to join us if you are around. But alright. That's enough of that. Oops, I took my Twitch screen down. There we go. Excellent. Oh, that's right. I was trying to ask to see where did I change it slightly. Like right here. So for me in Lieutenant Commander, this is where I changed it because I know how I have a better grasp of how the systems work and what each of these skills was trying to do. So like this one is trying to improve your control stuff. But I use drain abilities more than I use control abilities, so for me the drain makes more sense. But I still want to give a little bit of control because it also helps you defend against control things. The biggest example of a control effect is the tractor beam, and even a repulsor beam. So having a higher control skill, if you use tractor beams, it makes your tractor beam better. Or if an enemy's using one, it makes their enemies less effective against you. So there's that. We get to drain. This is the energy drain which is what I use, or I actually use shield drain. Not energy drain. Sorry, I use shield drain with my tachyon beam, and this amplifies the effectiveness of my tachyon beam. Once you go further on and you actually hit right around level 60, is when you can start doing specializations. Which I still need to do mine. This is a newer character. I guess we're supposed to add. I've been playing off and on since 2012. So coming up this year, it's gonna be 10 years of me playing. So me having a better grasp of the systems makes sense. I don't know how long you've been playing, but it seems like it might not be as long, or not too long if you only have a couple characters that are not even max level yet. Of course, I might be wrong, but that's just the vibe I get from what you're saying so far. But like I said, those communities on Reddit and Discord will definitely be a lot more useful than myself, because they tend to know these systems better than a lot better than I do and everything else. Since launch, but I rarely play, just in spurts here and there. Fair enough, I understand that. There was a good portion throughout most of last year I wasn't playing. Just because I had nothing to do. It's why I ended up creating these 2 new characters earlier this year, was to give myself something to do. So like I said, yeah, I completely understand. But alright, back to the shipbuilding, back to my shipbuilding stuff here. But feel free to ask or chat away. as I figure out which of these. I'm probably gonna do Delta. The same. Huh. Delta's the better of these. Okay. Cool. So you will do a attack pattern Delta. Learn attack pattern Delta. It's going to be your main thing. Excellent. All right. Like I said, yeah, this character wasn't as bad to make the build for. I like when builds are easy like that. And eventually I need to see about making a specialization here for the Miracle Worker. To see what other abilities I can give them. Because if I could free up these first 2 spots and just put them here, that would actually be kind of useful. Alright. I'm gonna beam back up. I think we're good here. Alright. Now the next phase, which can be harder depending, is me building up the tray here. Ugh, this ship looks ugly. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm glad it's called the Eisenberg in reference to Aaron Eisenberg, who played Nog. I appreciate that, but my god, that ship is ugly. Alright. Kind of a whale pistol shape. I don't see the whale. I see the pistol, but I don't see the whale. Well, actually, I guess I kind of do as the little top part here. Yes, yeah, this little top I can see more kind of as a whale. But again, yeah, no, pistol I can definitely see. Even though this is weird for a pistol, it's still the one that clicks the most with me. I got somebody flying around in their I'm assuming new ship. Holy mercy. Stream might be shorter than I thought it was going to be. But don't worry, I'm not going anywhere quite yet. Oh, another very good thing to have if you don't have it is what we call the spacebar macro. What if you don't have it yet? It's good. It's pretty good to get. What it does is it makes it so that every time you hit spacebar, which most people probably are already anyway, it does a couple things. Number one, so look at my shield indicator, and that's how it's flashing. It's kind of hard to see, I know, because we're not in combat, but when you do it, it instantly does a redistribute shield power, so you keep that on a loop since you're theoretically pressing spacebar constantly. It does fire all weapons, which this was before they added in auto fire, and auto fire worked very well. And then anything in row number 7 will auto cast. Why row 7 I can't tell you for sure, that's just the row that was chosen. Probably to give people enough rows below them to filter things out, or depending on what the situation is. But I don't know. That's a guess. But again, so yeah, everything in row 7 will auto cast, which is really nice. Like for example, I'm gonna like the barrage, the broadside cannon barrage. I'm gonna put that there. That way, every time that I can use it, it triggers. The other thing I'm gonna put there is actually none of these. Nope. I'm gonna put this variable torpedo in there as well. And then I always start with the tachyon beam. I always have hazard emitters going. Fire at beam, fire at will always goes and auto casts. Having this auto cast is usually a good idea. And then what else do I have that can auto cast? What is this again? That's a reinforcement beacon. That's useful, but not what I need here. Alrighty. I'll put a attack pattern delta in there too for now, but that might actually move. But one of the biggest advantages of having the row 7 autocast are going to be for beam, fire at will, and torpedo spread, because now whenever they're ready, they'll just keep auto triggering, and that way you can just keep cycling through them as quickly as possible, relatively soon after they're available. It's not even relatively, just soon after they're available, as long as you're still pressing it within a few seconds. Let's see. Again, pardon me again. Just in case you missed it from earlier, I had a really long day at work, so I had to go in earlier. I had to go in earlier after a not so great night of sleep. So, and I gotta do it all over again tomorrow. The day itself wasn't bad, it was just waking up for it that was annoying. I am not a morning person, so any kind of waking up early is a bit detrimental. Alrighty. Brace for impact, only 1.5 go here. We'll have to be able to put. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Yeah. If I had put in a request early enough, I could have potentially done it. But instead, we have a local event called the Balloon Fiesta, and I took the week off for that. I started out back in October. It's the world's largest international hot air balloon festival. There. It's a local event, and I got to help, which I do pretty much every year now, with one of the balloons that came from out of state, through a friend who made a relationship with them before. I helped them set up the balloon, help them fly it and everything else. It can be pretty fun. The event itself, as somebody who's lived here for years, and you can, because of the nature of the area, we see hot air balloons basically, for a long time it was daily. It was in here daily, especially now in the winter because it's a lot easier to take off in the cold, since you don't need as much heat to be lighter than the air. I haven't seen them daily, although I'm guilty. I work from home now, so I don't have to be out as much. And they're usually only out in the morning for a few hours. Like I said, but going back to it, because they're so regular, the event itself, just watching the event, they go once and you've kind of seen it already, and for me, I don't really care. But doing the crewing stuff, that's different. That's nice to do. Plus, it gets me out of the house. but yeah, so that was this week or this year. Next year, I've got the week off for it again for the same thing, especially with it being the 50th Balloon Fiesta. It should have been this year, but you know, fun times last year decided to they postponed it, and so the 49th was this year, so the 50th, and so on. And then I'm also scheduled to go to Chicago in April for the Star Trek mission. It's the new, basically it's their, it seems to be their traveling, like how they always have Star Trek Las Vegas and Star Trek Cruise. From what I'm gathering, this will be something that'll move from city to city every year or so. And Chicago was the first one. Now, I am in the state of New Mexico, but I have been to Chicago before. I actually used to live in the general area. Oh, pardon me. There we go. And that's where my buddies Void Mage and Soulless Fire live, and even my brother. They all live in the area still, so it's a combo thing if I get to see them, and I get to go to a Star Trek event. Which, fun fact, I've never been to a Star Trek event before. I've been to like a Comic-Con thing before. This is C2E2 as it's referred to, which is basically a Comic-Con. I've been to this only once, just because of circumstances and travel and cost and all the, you know, everything like that. And then I completely understand. I am not that fond of crowds either. What makes it easier to do stuff like Twitch, especially, is because ironically, it's because I can't see you. It makes it a bit easier because I'm just reacting to your text message essentially. So it makes it a lot easier to do something like this. Would you see? All I've really done, we have a small local con because Albuquerque is the biggest city in the state of New Mexico. So we have a couple local ones for that. And then I've been to the Chicago Comic Entertainment Expo, again C2E2, once. And that's all I've actually really done. I'd love to go to like San Diego at least once. And for a while I was looking forward to doing TwitchCon, which I wouldn't mind. I just won't have the vacation days for it, or the money for it, for that matter, because it's all the way in October for us. But yeah, those, you know, and that would be very hard. What makes the Star Trek one a bit easier is the fact that it's a universe that I'm very familiar with. Not that I won't be shy and weird and awkward. I will absolutely be shy, weird, and awkward, especially because I'm going with my dad. Because aren't many other people I know that are as into Star Trek as I am. The only other one is unfortunately not able to go. Actually, there's actually a couple of them now. I met a new one relatively recently. But he's also not great in crowds, and he even was saying, he was thinking of, he's interested in Star Trek, but he's not, you know, passionate about it, for lack of a better term. So for him, he'd get kind of bored, and it wouldn't be a good fit for him, which I understand. It's not for everybody, especially in that case where he'd be flying out with me to Chicago, and I would have to deal with that. At least if it was a local event, you might be able to go for a day, and then you go your day, you get bored, and you don't worry about going back. It's kind of how I felt about our Comic-Con here. It's a 3-day event, but I'm like, we're gonna go one day, and that's about it. No worries. It doesn't matter how old you are. I respect your decision, but I disagree with you. I hate Discovery. I hate Picard. And Lower Decks is alright. And Prodigy, I don't care about at all. Now, before we go too much further, this emote exists for a reason. I can rant about Discovery and Picard if I get on the right subject for it. I respect your decision, but that's why I don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I understand Star Trek that it can be different. DS9, it really is the one that showed you can do Star Trek differently. I just have a lot of other issues with Discovery that I don't want to get into right now because I do not want to rant about it. But yeah. But I'd say I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I will not judge you for liking them. In its own small little way, it's just a small form of idic. Alright, I've got this here. I think I'm gonna bring this down. Nope, not that. That. There. There we go. I think that's good. Power transfer, maneuvers, fleet support. Let's do that. Let me move things around just a little bit. Oops. Huh. This was not ideal. There we go. Okay, that fixed that issue. Not sure if you noticed or not, but I had an issue there with just the way that, oh, this needs to be expanded slightly. I can do that by 2 spots. There we go, okay. Sorry about that. Just had to figure out how what was going on with the layout here and move some things around. When I set this back to 3, and this is gonna get set to 7. That way I have an extra row to play with here, which would be kind of nice. Put fleet support there. Now this character will have a few blank spaces, and that's technically fine. As we go through the arcs and get more abilities, a lot more things to put there. Sad times because the eggnog's about to go away. Now that we're out of the Christmas season, or we're leaving the Christmas season, eggnog always goes with it. Let's see. Carrot. That's the thing. It's good. And putting that there, it's easy access. That's good. Support. Focused Frenzy. Excellent. That's what we need. So if you can, so you need to throw at things. Miraculous repairs. On in. Override my top bar jamming. That's fine. That's part of the big thing of if you get the spacebar one, which I think I can probably link over to when I remember where to find it. That's the one. Excellent. So, if you happen to have my page open still, if not, I can put it back in there. It's updating now with where to find the spacebar.txt macro. And when you go to the Hilbert guide, which is where it's hosted, it has a bit more detail about how to use it. If you have some time and want to, you can look through the Hilbert guide as well. It's a few years out of date, so it's no longer quite as authoritative as it used to be, but it definitely still has some good points to try and figure things out. I am guilty. I've only opened it for the spacebar.txt macro, and that's basically it. But like right below it, holy, I forgot just how old this. Sorry, just looking at some of the I just scrolled through and saw the screenshots to realize how old this is. But again, it gives you the details of how to use it and what it's useful for. Oh. Let's see real quick. But yeah, so these will give you some ideas. They won't be perfect. Jesus Christ. Just realizing, I keep realizing just how old these are. This was so old that the beta was wrong. Like the icon for beta was wrong. Now it's fine, but it's still not the best, but it's a lot better now. But again, it does offer some templates as well for both how to set up the bar, as well as it gives you an idea of concepts, and it gives you some templates for where to start from. As you learn, as you get the hang of things, you can always make adjustments. And the guide says itself that it's outdated. Screenshots are outdated, so that tells you things too. So it fully admits that it's a bit outdated, but it gives you an idea of where to start. And there's a lot of good details here. Holy shit, that's how old this is? I never actually scrolled down to the bottom of this thing. This was last updated in 2013. Wonder why it looks so old, because it is that old. Surprised it still exists, but it's still there. Anyway, like I said, good resource to find your own path. See. If I know what happened to my repair. Security collapse. 7. Good. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and save this, and this might actually be and I think we're done with Lexington here. I believe we're done with Lexington here, and we can always come back if I see something that needs to be tweaked with it. I'll try to, I will at some point in the very near future try to run some missions with it to test out the build and see if I want to adjust anything. But that day won't be today because I'm definitely getting a bit tired. But we'll move on to my Discovery character, and that'll probably be the last of it. Come on, Colton. Oh, we're doing cold storage, okay. So, here, this is the ship I'm using right now. This is the Vengeance.
With the war over, it's...
I'm using the Vengeance, but I'm not the biggest fan of this ship. It was something different, and it gave me to use it. So that's why I was using it. But now we're going to go ahead and turn it in for a new ship, which I'm not sure which one I want to do yet. Transwarp into the star. Story of bedtime. Fair enough. I respect that too. That's the story in STO. Well, it's a little bit fan servicey in general. Not too bad. My roommate brought this up first, and then I agree that they tied a bit too into the overarching story, but in general it flows. It feels relatively Star Trek-y, minus the gaming elements of having to blow everything up instead of talking to them. But it's because if you're just playing a game, you want to blow things up, you don't want to just sit there and talk most of the time. Oh, first. So now I need to decide which ship I'm going to actually be using this character. Go. probably use this one. Really, I like cruise trail lines. You know what? Let's try using the escort. Alright, let's go ahead and trade the ship in. I should say trade it, but sure also that I have the settings set properly, which they should be. Equipped, excellent. I'm not quite ready to upgrade this one yet because I don't know if I'm going to stay with this one or not. Whew. I thought the awning would end, but clearly it has not. Discard all the basic stuff. So the ship is. This doesn't have that many aft weapons. I actually might use this one, but we'll see. We'll try. Give it a shot. See what I get out of it, if anything. Get another ship here in a moment. I was gonna do the disco prize. Let me grab that too, so I have it ready. Temporal flight deck carrier. That pains me. Is. Okay. Now we'll leave it as is. Might pull over everything else here in a bit. It's 10:40 already. That explains why I'm getting so tired. And close to 11 o'clock. See what I can make out of this first. Want to stick with this if I can. To my starship. The NX refit is kind of cool. Definitely, the NX refit lets you see where the lineage of the NX and lineage of the Enterprise we definitely starts. If I wasn't careful, I might have actually fallen asleep when I did that. Okay, good to know. This mod version, which is the Columbia version, which I don't particularly like. It's not terrible, actually looking at it now, it reminds me of the Excelsior. Here with refits. Save change, yes. Work. Got a little itchy too. I just got a haircut today, so all that hair is trying to be annoying too. Yep. Let's lay down. Rawr, rawr. Rawr, rawr, rawr. Rawr, rawr, rawr. Yep. Yes, doggy is cute. Pain in the ass. But cute. I think he's just mad because I disturbed him from his rest. What'd you find? Hey, Darth Andrea, I have a mission for you if you are willing to accept it. And if the other party is willing as well. Zen of Games, who I don't know how long you've been hanging around here, but if you can see the history from a minute before you're popped in, has a level... A level 52 science officer and doesn't know how to use them. And if I recall correctly, you and you're good with science. I think you primarily use science, if I remember correctly. Somebody could use some help if you're willing to provide it. Darth Andrea, feel free to have your discussion there. Meanwhile, I will fall asleep in the meantime. Also, I don't know if you'll I don't know how you feel about this one, but I had a stream on Christmas Eve going into Christmas that I was saying I didn't want to buy the Legendary Pack because they made it available again. I bought the Legendary Pack. Now I'm trying to decide what I want to do to build these up. Oops. That's fair, and that's kind of how I looked at it too. But it's been funny. I was talking to another friend of mine. I even told him stuff like I caved. What happened is I caved. At this point, what's done is done, and I have the pack. I only got the standard pack though, and some upgrades, the ship upgrades. So I can make them into T6Xs. All right, before I do that, let's go and open this up here, and let's see how station. Temporal agents, okay. I don't like this already. Focus on is the one to the 6. Also finish out starting. Those are very true. Getting the traits from doing all the bonus, or the reputations especially, can give you a lot of shit. R&D is useful as well. Reminds me, I haven't actually been in this character for a while, so I've beams for now to get this one up to 15. Well, shite. This one's a no-go. There's not enough engineering stuff for the way that I need to run my stuff. Granted, I know I'm running with a tactical here, but so much better. Don't overwhelm him, Andrea. You're okay so far, but just be careful about that. You need to customize the ship and all. Customize it. Oh no! This one can access the Constitution ones? Oh. Oh, duh, I know why it's not showing anything. Hello there, Crimson Tiger. Just a moment. See, I am playing around with ships here. Let's go, Connie. Skins, but parts or not. Damn it. You know how happy I was when I saw all these different constitutions here? Just for you to go and ruin my damn parade. God, I hate those. I'm gonna try not to rant. Try really hard not to rant. Remember, like I said, I have the rant emote for a reason. Get the mirror warship. No, I only got this because it was included in the pack, to be honest. And this is my Discovery era character, so it makes more sense for me to use the Discovery one. Although I am fully prepared to go to the regular Connie, the regular Legendary Connie that's included, and just do that one. But as we're gonna say, yeah, that's way too rich for my blood. I don't have I think I'm only like 9 million on my main character right now. But anyway, I'm trying to say something without ranting. This version of the Connie, in a vacuum, is fine. Not my favorite. Not the most amazing. It's fine. I remember you saying that. I forget which one it was, but I remember you saying you just bought one. I remember I was surprised you were only at 43 million. Out of the cap of 2 billion. But I was saying, for this Connie, nice. Again, in a vacuum, this Connie is fine. If you told me this was some kind of, you know, advanced Connie that they made somewhere between before they did the refit of the Constitution, actually, if you just told me that, if it was between Kirk and that, don't worry, it takes a lot to build up the EC amounts. The amounts that I have, I've built up over the course of a couple years, and I don't spend it very often. Also remember that Darth Andrea, I think, is like always playing and is always doing crap. So there's that. Also, quick thing, if you didn't notice, Andrea, you were gifted a sub yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yesterday, day before. Day before. So feel free to use any of the emotes that you get with it. But as I was saying, if you told me that this Constitution came between Kirk's, like the end of the original series, and before it got refitted in motion picture, and this was a different ship, not the Enterprise, I'd find it a little weird, but I could get on board. It would be weird, but I can make that work. But having this be 10 years before Kirk does not work for me at all. I understand they had to do a visual reboot. Get that. I have seen fans do better visual reboots. than CBS did. And at the risk of starting a rant, I will leave it there. It's an okay design. It looks like the original Enterprise, but needs to not be the original Enterprise. And I will leave it there for now. It's Connie for Disco, not the main. It's size of the Kelvin Connie. It's Connie can't be fit in continuity. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Although I could have sworn this was bigger. Nope, never mind. I'm thinking of the Kelvin Connie. The Kelvin Connie is the size of the goddamn Galaxy class. That's just ridiculous. I knew this was bigger, but I didn't. I thought it was bigger than 25%. Bad reboot, and so I know what I said. Bad reboot's decision to make it bigger, and the explanation is only partially okay. Because if that was the case, then why are Federation ships not bigger or more powerful just from scanning the Romulans or the Klingons? Fucking bored. But again, I'm trying not to rant, I swear. I'm also too tired to make an effective rant. But let's see. I'm after the bot then. I'm just gonna say the hell the Kelvin universe. But that's me. Other people can enjoy it. That's fine. I am just not one of them. We enjoy the mug. That. Add the vanity shield back on. And we need a lot more consoles here. Why not? I don't have a better RCS thing here. Am I crazy? Just not move over because NX refit was ridiculously limited. I just didn't. Wait. I don't have one. First reboot movie. That's actually just an adventure sci-fi. As a generic action sci-fi movie, the first one is fine. the broadside. Yep. We still have. To the bank. Oh, son of a bitch. It's a remake sequels I've given up my. I mean, it's totally fair. After seeing Star Wars go down the drain, Star Trek went down the drain, in my opinion at least. It's been focusing better. Perhaps I could. It's one of those. I am slowly trying to actually make sure I do the Endeavors. Tonight it's not gonna happen. I am just again way too tired, unfortunately. But I'm slowly working on them so I can build. So I can definitely build that and everything else up while I'm. But I did actually find the RCS console you can craft, which is, oh my god, amazing. What it looks like. Grab it. I can understand it. It definitely would be very difficult nostalgia to go back to. I didn't have that kind of nostalgia. For me, Star Trek is really okay for me, just because I'm one of those that I was born or just a few months before Voyager. And for me, at least, Star Trek has always been on TV. It's always been available. Where did I went to? There, no. Yeah. So for me, like my parents had recorded episodes of Voyager on the VCR, and those tapes were available basically whenever I wanted to watch them. Oh, this is the one that the crafted one I was talking about. That's really nice. It's not the I'm sure it's not the best, but the fact that you can't get it until you hit 15, the crafting rank, I'm sure indicates a few things. I cannot tell you anybody that I have a really crush on from the show. It might just be because I've had it it's been around for literally forever. I never had that with anybody, unfortunately. It was, in my case, it was just if there was a weekend or whatever that I was not doing anything, I could just go to the little bookshelf, go, ooh, Dark Frontier, and put Dark Frontier, the Dark Frontier VHS tape, which I had all the UPN branding on it because it was just recorded off the TV back in those days. So the first, I don't know if it cut out there or not. Yeah, I was just saying I just watched it on my own. The first, in my case, father-son thing was the reboot movie was 2009, because by the time, due to other fun stuff, by the time Nemesis came out, or by the time I was with my dad on a regular basis. Nemesis came out years prior to that. So the first one that we could do was 09. And even then I didn't like it. I couldn't pinpoint why I didn't like it back then. I still can't tell you why I didn't like it back then. I can at least tell you now why I don't like it. At least as a Star Trek movie, as we said earlier, as a generic sci-fi action adventure, it's fine. It's not the greatest, but it's fine. And then that was really the only thing we had. By the time of Into Darkness, that was the year that I had, it came out 2013. I'd already moved out, back out here. Motion picture was 79, I think. Or 76? A second. Okay, Google. Release date for Star Trek the Motion Picture. '79. December of 79. So I guess 1980 isn't a bad, as a recall thing. That's not bad. I'll get to your point in a second, Andrea. As I was in the middle of saying though, so yeah, I moved back out here for college. I moved back out here for college back in. Sorry, I read something in the chat. It took a second for it to click. Somebody put in there, okay, so lungs do not like soda. Pro tip. Which, yeah, lungs do not like soda. But I moved out here for college, and by the time Darkness came out, actually, so I saw it with some fraternity brothers of mine at the time. And it was hilarious because as I was watching it, I was mad by the time ending came through, and the iconic Spock thing happened. So I was very, very upset, and it was hilarious because they could all see it on my face that I was groaning basically the whole time. And then when Beyond came out, by that point I had started my job at Walmart. Actually, I'd left my job at Walmart by that point. I had been rehired, and the manager that hired me, we ended up talking and staying friends. We still talk to this day. Actually, I just saw him a couple weeks ago because he had found the little action figures they started re-releasing recently. Like, hey, I got a couple of these for you. So I went to go get those, and then, but him and I went to go see it together. Let's go see Beyond together. And we kind of had the same thing of, it was the best it was the most Star Trek of the three movies, even though it too had so many flaws. Now, he's a bit more open to things and a little less, like, he knows the lore, he knows it and such, but I think he's a little less invested in it. So he didn't have the same kind of issues that I had with Beyond. But we still kind of agreed on things. That would be Star Wars 8 that would be Last Jedi. That is with loophole big enough to fly your ship through. Or Voyager as a series. Sometimes. But yeah, so that's how my stuff with that went, and then I watched Discovery's premiere alone. I watched the premiere of Picard. I had my roommate and another friend of mine. We all watched it together. My roommate gave up on it after the second episode. I gave up on it after the third or fourth, but I still watched through the entire series, the entire season, which made it extremely hard to watch Lower Decks. I'm at the point now where I'm wearing Lower Decks uniforms in the in-game here. Of the three that are currently, of the four, I guess, because Prodigy does count. Of the four that are going, it is the best one. It's the one I actually can go back to. Just yesterday when I was feeling like garbage, I went back to Lower Decks just to watch some laughing. Just pretend that most Star Wars movies are alternate universe. Fair enough. Alternate universes are probably the best way to get anything to work nowadays in most franchises that are... in most of the legacy franchises. From what pardon me. From what I hear, that's how Doctor Who should be treated. Star Wars definitely needs that kind of treatment. Star Trek needs that kind of treatment now because Discovery just can't be Prime Universe. Picard can't be Prime Universe because it doesn't make sense either. Anyway, I've said it multiple times. This rant emote exists for a reason, and this is part of why. Alright, let me go ahead and get back over to Discovery character so I can get this one at least. Alright, let's do count bank. What's that? And you're also a 45 or 44. Go away. Doctor Who ended when Peter cleared, and his opinion of the last Doctor to show it. Or just people she had refused to acknowledge. I mean, that's Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard for you too. And to a degree, Star Wars, the entire sequel trilogy. Apollo, come here. Come here, Apollo. Oh, you heard somebody outside. Now you want to go? You want to go investigate, huh? Or did you hear the cat and you want to go eat it? Your voices. Let me let Apollo out of the room for a moment. It's also getting really hot in here. My room just went over 80 degrees. What, Apollo? Alright, 1 second as well to open up my window, which is, like I said before, it's right next to the desk here. Ow! Alright. But yeah, I guess one of the things of... even Lower Decks has a lot of SW woke bullshit in it, which is unfortunate. Mariner is like the definition of it. She has at least some stuff in her background that makes some sense as to why she's such a badass, but she needs to not be much of a badass. She needs to make more legitimate mistakes, not, you know, oh, I paid off the Ferengi. I paid off the Ferengi to make me look like an idiot. No, she needs a lot. She needs some genuine I fucked up. moments. That's one of the things I really, really liked about the one where in season 2, when they're in the museum ship, the collector ship, and her and Jet finally disagree. That's what I liked about that. Is that was a actual moment of they both fucked up, and they could give it over to the other characters, and that was cool to see. Disney Star Wars movies are all crap. Discovery is crap. Picard killed a well-upset characters. Probably just out to destroy everything we live in hopes of turning escapism into platforms. I have comments, but I'm dry. I've got my political line, so to speak, that I don't want to cross. I don't want to go into anything politics adjacent, even. So, at least not here. So I'm going to leave my comments at the door, so to speak. But anyway, let's go back to making this build now, shall we? Oops, let's go this way, because I want to be able to go down here. Getting late? Yeah. I'm just not sure how you can see the time up here, but for me it's a quarter after 11, or about 20 after 11 now. So I understand. It's getting late here, and I'm usually a couple hours behind people. I'm in the mountain time zone. Alrighty, how do I do stations here? This is universal, right? Yes. This is engineering. This is also engineering. I can make this work. Ink. You're the science officer. That's great, let's do that. I can do a double tactical because I need access to more tactical things. Ugh. Okay. Those should mostly work. Boom. There we go. This layout pleases me. Almost. Hang on. Now this layout pleases me. Excellent. I head off to bed. What the hell? They figure stuff out. STM maybe. No worries. He said feel free to pop in whenever I stream. I don't stream that often. I am off on New Year's Eve, so I might be streaming for that. I don't know yet. I have no plans. That's a fair point, Andre, but that's not quite why I don't get into politics. I'll explain in a second. That I was saying for Zen at least, but yeah. Feel free to hop in to come around. Since you hopped into the Discord server, you'll get notices whenever I'm live or any of my other friends are live. Feel free to join us all. We all play different games, so hopefully you enjoy. If you enjoy mine, then great. If you enjoy theirs as well, feel free to hop in. Everybody's. We're all pretty welcoming. We're all pretty welcoming. We try to be. In the meantime, of course, as always, live long and prosper, etc., etc. As for your thing, Andrea, mine just isn't so much the evolving into 5-year-olds screaming at each other, although that is a part of it, I won't lie. My thing more is if I put myself on, if I were to state what my beliefs were, with how highly charged things are getting, I would eliminate one half of the other. I could eliminate a half of the audience. Now, that, and I try to keep the real world, so to speak, out of the stream as much. Like, this is fine. This is, a Star Trek talk. This is something I actually like to have in the stream. But for the most part, I don't mention, you know, the pandemic and stuff like that, just because I want this to be the chance to escape. So that's the main reason why I don't bring that kind of stuff in there. It's just, again, it's a place to forget everything for a little bit. I know it's not the easiest thing to do, but that's the goal. And that's all I got for right now that I can think of about that part, at least. Oh, hopefully sometime soon there'll be a podcast of some kind coming with me and actually that they will be a manager friend of mine. That's fair. Well, that's what I'm saying with the podcasting that I might want to do, or I'm trying to get going. That one could definitely bring some politics into it at that point. But if I'm only eliminating them from the audience of the podcast, that I can understand. I can be more comfortable with. Because, like I said, this is supposed to be for everybody. Just anybody who wants to join in should be able to enjoy and have a good time. And while I see your point about not placating, it's definitely a bit of a mixed bag. And because it's not so much that I'm placating them per se, it's just a matter of... I also think there's a better chance that if they are here longer without all that and then get introduced to that and just see that I don't make it that all of, you know, that's not all I talk about or whatever, that makes me feel a bit better too. So I can even think, like, if I was joining into someone else's stream and it's one of the first things I hear after not being there for a while, that could worry me too. It's all over. The hell? Oh, is that really Hyper? Okay. I forgot this song of theirs did all that stuff. Okay, good. Did I turn autoplay off for this? It is currently off. Excellent. Sorry, I had to do a music check real quick. Okay. Oh, I was still in the process of bringing this stuff over. Let me bring this down here. It's a bit cramped, but I like this better. Okay. Now, let me build out. Oops, actually need to move this slightly over to the 4th row. Just forgive me a bit. Fuck off and stop being a baby and being a doll. Fair enough. I can understand that too. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to do the same thing, but it's part of the... Ironically, part of the politics you kind of have to play when you're doing streaming or other content creative stuff. Now, if you're going to talk political content, then you kind of have to make your decision right then and there of what you're going to be, or make your announcement of what you are. But since I'm not doing anything like that, that's why I haven't. Or I say try not to. Here and there, it's probably come off which side of the aisle I fall on. But yeah, as long as no one makes it a big deal, that's really the goal, is for no one to make it a big deal here. And so far, we've been pretty good about it. All right. Tag pattern here. That's gonna go up here. I don't know where I want to put these fighters. Yeah, I guess I'll put them here for now. Actually, no, I put these over here. Next to the Scorpion fighters. You go away, because I don't need... I say go away. You come right about here, because I'm going to put some healing stuff at. My entire professional career as a bodyguard, I was paid to be a professional asshole, so I got really good at either making someone get sad enough to leave or get so they showed their stupidity and threw a punch at me. Fair enough. I am a non-computational bitch, so complete opposite in the end of the spectrum there. Fair enough. I just don't use them because they're... I don't like going through the vault all the time to have to replenish them. I have a defensive configuration? You have an attack configuration? Did I just skipped over? Hold on a second. The fuck did I just miss? A small reduction to incoming hull healing. I don't give a shit about that. Okay. Well, there's a reason to use this ship over things. No, these are actual hanger pets. You get my reputation. Oh. I never really had pets, so it's never been an issue of mine. Oh yeah, no, that's why I was looking for the. It's when I saw a defensive, I figured there had to be an offensive. That's what I was trying to find. Because yeah, usually those two come in pairs. Wasn't the Dyson, I think, the first one to have something like that? I think with the Dyson, all the Dyson ones that first did. Got a couple years ago. Or, well, now probably a few. Alright, now I skipped because I found that. Scroll. Alright, defensive configuration. Ideally want to have that auto going. Auto casting. A heal. There. So a warp bubble goes there. That goes. Marine team gonna come. Is gonna move this down. Fire at my mark if I can have that auto cast, that would be great. Fleet support. Focus frenzies might do manual. That down. Hazard image. Always auto cast. What the hell is this? That's gonna be something we're gonna put over on the power of tray somewhere. Nimbus call, gonna go there. Ramming speed. Science team. Oh, I already had one. Perfect. Tachyon beam there. Tactical. actually, instead, stands. Fighters, our device, the squadron's going. Slot. Oh, they're listed as Elite Scorpion Squadron. So it's a squadron. 6 fighters for every pet space you have. Nice. So yeah, no, that's why I never had to worry about pet. I never had pets before, anything like that, or anything that could basically had a hanger basically until relatively recently. So that's not something I ever worried about getting. On my most developed character, I can't really call him my main character as much anymore, so I'll say most developed. He got his first ship with any kind of pet. It was just now that I just got the Aquarius through the legendary, Audi. When I first got the Audi, I only had the Science Audi with the worker beads, and then I had the Tactical Audi, which is what I've been flying for years. I have several pet ships: the Disco Connie, Disco D7, Anorak, others. That's fair. Yeah, I never had the tier 5 Tactical Audi. That's why I never had the Aquarius. I have the Aquarius now. And then again, this guy now has these dual hangers. And the only one that doesn't have any pets still, I think it's the Sovereign I was just using, the Legendary Sovereign that. Spread. Okay. Ooh, pardon me again. As just said, it's getting late, and I'm starting to feel it. And I have to get to work. I have to be at work by 7:30 instead of 8, which that half hour is actually a lot. T6 Audis straight on them. Sector space turn rate. Yes. That's always been one of the big things. That was the in-universe reason for the split neck. I remember that ever since the tier 6 Audi or the tier 5 Audi had that on it too. Or actually, I don't think it had the return, but it had the longer and the faster slipstream on tier 5. Like I said, that was their in-universe explanation for the dual neck, because they needed something. And I don't actually judge them. Why not have miraculous repairs in this one? Is that an engineer trait that I forgot about? I think that's a trait I forgot about. That is unique to engineering officers. Yeah. Miracle Worker ships have a hidden trait that gives the 100% refresh rate, so it only takes seconds between slip. That's kind of nice, actually. And the Sovereign, the Legendary Sovereign, is a Miracle Worker ship, so that's cool. Let me move. Huh. I didn't know they had the Pasturians. It's a cool. Oh, there they all are. Definitely gonna need some. Do I have a supply? Huh. I had a lot more open spots than I thought. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, I'll play on with the tray a little bit here, but so far this is more I want to do it. Okay. They're swarming. My God, it's like Star Wars all over again. Apparently my disco agony phases and an agony torpedo. I like the talk from the science power to just eat ships alive. I can see that because I know the withering, isn't it like a withering radiation that the agonies have on top of them? Something like that. Oh yeah, I can understand. Ooh, this is a nice and surprisingly fast ship. At least it feels surprisingly fast. Nicely. Agony has pure phaser damage to your withering. That's the one. There we go. We have parked. We're in space dock now. Not ideally, but we are still in space dock. No worries, I'll be topping off myself here in just a little bit, so have a good night. Hopefully see you soon. I don't know if you heard me or not, but I might be streaming this weekend and it might be STO. I have to give myself an excuse for why I just spent all the money on legendary ships, so that's part of why I'm doing the stream now. Let's see you later. And feel free to use those emotes in other places now, because you were gifted a subscription. I was happy to see that the other day. Later, though. And let's see. That's what I want. Alright, well, that is going to go ahead and do it for us now. I do thank everybody for joining. Did. And as a reminder, we have a new page you can visit. If you should have some STO assistance, so on and so forth. Which I did wrong. You can always go over there if you'd like. I'll try to make some updates to it later on. I do admit this will be a lower priority page, but as people remind me about things to add or ask me questions and I answers, we can put it there and get some things together. But in the meantime, again, I am going to go ahead and call it here. Mainly, again, we were just doing some builds on those, and yeah. But as always, feel free to follow me on Twitter there. I'm actually good today, and I actually put my notice on Twitter going. And as of course, Discord is the best place to find me, and I'll be throwing this over on YouTube in the next few days.